It is time for tonight's edition of Grizz Files, and we are so excited to be joined by one of the newest members of the Memphis Grizzlies, rookie Ziaire Williams. Ziaire, how's it going for you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. We're very excited to get an opportunity for everyone to hear a little bit more about your journey that's led you here to Memphis. So let's just get it started right at the very beginning. Take me back to when you were younger. What are some of your first memories of the game?
Man, probably about 6 years old. Actually, so soccer was my first sport. I started playing when I was about 3, 4. And then about 7, 6, 7-ish. That's when I started playing basketball and I was doing both. And then eventually basketball just took over. I just being in the YMCA Junior League in Lancaster, that was like my first memories playing on the small rims. And I've loved the game ever since. So, probably about 6 years old, 6, 7.
Soccer was my first sport until I scored a goal on the wrong goal. So I'm like there. We're
at least
on the same page. Yeah, thank you. Right. But I know that growing up, both of your parents were military. I'm curious, did that make it harder for you? Were they super hard on you growing up, or how did that help you as you started to figure out what you wanted to do in life?
For sure, there was definitely some harder moments growing up, but it was always for the best. They wanted to raise a respectful, humble, honorable kid. It's definitely times where I wasn't allowed to go out to the movie theaters with my friends, or when I thought I should, or if I came home with a C, I was grounded. I wasn't playing any basketball. I was locked in my room reading books. But it was all for the best. So I was able to go to Stanford, which was arguably the best university in the world. And yeah, man, I've been able to just achieve so many great things that not a lot of people get the opportunity to, especially coming from Lancaster. So it was all for the best, man. So shout out to mom and dad.
But you grew up in California and you ultimately wrapped up your high school career at Sierra Canyon, which has certainly made its way into one of those schools that people around the country know as a place where really good basketball players go. You were on a team with LeBron's son, Dwayne Wade's son. What was that experience like for you, and how did it help shape your journey?
It was super fun, man. I would have wanted to finish off high school any other way. Traveling 33,000 miles in one season, went to China, played in 10 different states. It was so awesome, man. We got a chance to play in the Mavericks arena, the Timberwolves arena. And that just as a high school kid, we have our own documentary on Amazon Prime. It was just crazy. But it's helped me so much just prepare for this next level with the travel, the fans, the media, the notoriety. So, and more importantly, man, I just, I met a group of brothers who I call, and just our bond that we have for each other is like, it's unmatched. I talk to those guys every day, and it was a great group. So more than anything, I'm just glad I have them as friends in my corner who don't have my back.
Yeah, not every high school kid has a documentary on Amazon Prime, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it is also cool, obviously, playing with LeBron's kid with Bronny. That gets you a certain sense of notoriety in itself. I'm curious, LeBron plays a role in your life. I've heard you refer to him as Uncle LeBron. What's the biggest piece of advice that he's given you that you've been able to carry with you so far?
Man, probably just be patient, stay with the grind, trust the process. Not everything's gonna come overnight. So he would tell all of us, and he would always tell us, no matter what, we gotta stick together. We had so many everywhere we went, it was always boos in the crowd. We hate Sierra Canyon, they're cheaters, all this other stuff. So he would just always, just to be a family and just be one, and just always just stay together, no matter what's going on out there.
Well, like you mentioned, after high school, you end up at Stanford. You'll call it the greatest school in the world. I went to USC, so I'll just say that we at least have Pac-12 situation going on here, which I'll take. Pac-12 to Memphis connection is alive and well, but it was such a tough year for you at Stanford. You arrived just in time for all of the unprecedentedness of the 2020 pandemic. Try to describe it to me in your words, what it was like going through your college basketball freshman season during that period of time.
Man, it's uncomparable, man. It was insane. Not having a weight room, practicing on tennis courts, living in a hotel room the whole year, straight Zoom classes. I didn't meet not one person, not one student, non-basketball related, on the Stanford campus while I was there. So it was tough, in a sense. It didn't even really feel like I went to Stanford in a way, like I played for the team, but I didn't get to experience the real Stanford feel and the college experience. So it was tough, and unfortunately as well, I lost two uncles who were really close to me, and it was my first time dealing with death. So that was just a whole nother issue on the side. But, my teammates and my coaches at the Stanford program were so good to me. They helped me get through, which was by far like the hardest point of my life. And I was dealing on it on my own because I didn't have my parents there with me. So it was just tough in so many different aspects, but I learned so much. So I feel like I've grown as a young man from that experience so much. And it was just a fun year, man. Honestly, it was a lot of ups and downs. And, of course, it didn't go the way we wanted it to, but I got everything I needed out of it. So everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. You take the up, you take the down, and ultimately you decide to enter the NBA draft. Coming off of such a weird season, what was that NBA draft process like for you leading up to the draft?
Yeah, it was tough. My range was super big. Yeah, I did like probably about 12 NBA workouts. Was traveling a different city every other day. It was the last kind of final push, final grind, but did great in all my workouts. I had an individual here in Memphis. Memphis was one of the places I really wanted to go to because I thought this would have been a perfect fit, which is why I did the individual. And I didn't even tell anyone. We all kept it on the real, just low key, and ended up working out. Just leading up to the draft, it was, just one day at a time, and ended up working out for the best. So, like I said, everything happens for a reason, man. I'm just super blessed and thankful to be in this position.
So you make it through the grind, you get to draft night. Take me back to that night for you and what it was like to hear your name when the Memphis Grizzlies took you with that 10th pick.
Man, there's no way I can describe it. There's so many different emotions, happy, you're nervous, you're anxious. There's so many different things going on, but to hear my name at that number 10 pick, man, I've never heard, someone say my name and it feel that impactful. I just felt like kind of like the whole weight of the world was just released off my shoulders. All the sacrifices not only I've made, but my family has made for me, my friends, family, coaches. It was just a great feeling. So, I definitely know I have so much more to accomplish and, so many more things to get better at. But it was definitely a proud moment just to look back and just appreciate everything that happened so far.
What, if anything, did you know about Memphis? I know you came here for your workout, but prior to that, did you know anything about the city?
City-wise, not really. No, I always knew they had good barbecue. And barbecue is my favorite food. But yeah, I watched the basketball, of course, but city-wise, no, I never visited Memphis or anything. So I'm loving it so far, though, for sure.
What's been your favorite thing about it so far?
Just the culture, honestly. Just the people out here, everyone's super chill, laid back. It's a small town, but it's like you can tell it's just really just everyone's just close. The spirit here is alive for sure. They all love their Grizzly basketball, so it's been plenty of times where I've been trying to get fried chicken or get cookies or get whatever. And, I'll take a couple pictures with fans and stuff, which has been pretty cool. So I'm just embracing it, man. Just embracing it one day at a time, trying to get better individually and as a team, and just steady with it. The team, we have some big goals and big plans, so we're just trying to just go at it one day at a time.
Okay, everyone has their barbecue and fried chicken spot, but what's your cookie spot?
Oh, Insomnia cookies, top tier.
Yes.
And we have one in LA too, so I'm glad I can get a little home feeling cookies.
And it's so close to FedEx Forum, so it's
yeah, exactly.
Easy,
That's right.
Easy little walk over there. I know you've been here such a short period of time, but thus far, what stands out as your favorite memory with the Grizzlies so far?
Probably in practice playing kickball. That was pretty fun. We play kickball, we play tag sometimes, you know, a little locker room, rap stuff, dance stuff, just the little things, you know, forget all of the plays and the dunks and stuff. I appreciate just, you know, the quality time we spend together and just the little stuff that builds our chemistry.
For sure. The chemistry for this team is so much fun, and we've already been able to see it in the few games you guys have played. But for you individually, what do you really hope to accomplish in this rookie season?
Man, just to prove to everyone I belong, honestly, really. I don't really have certain points or assists or rebounds I want to accomplish. I just want to come out, compete at the hardest level every day, and just contribute to a winning team. You know, coming off a great season last year, all we want to do is just keep building on, and I just want to help and be a part of that. So whatever the coaches want me to do in that court, they have my word. I'm gonna give them 110% every time.
I know this is the time of year where all you do is basketball, but when you're not playing basketball, what's your favorite thing to do off the court?
I sleep a lot. I sleep a lot. Yesterday was our off day. I fell asleep at like 6 p.m. thinking I was going to take a nap, and I woke up. It was 2:30 in the morning, and then was up for about an hour, and then woke up again at 8 for shoot around. So I sleep so much. Let me think. I play video games every now and then. I'm in the process of getting a piano set home, so I already have my instructor and everything for that. So I will be dedicated. I'm motivated to be good at the piano. I've always wanted to play an instrument, so I'm excited about that.
So piano will be your first instrument?
That'll be my first one.
Ooh, we're gonna have to
hopefully
check
I
back
could
in.
give a little halftime show or something one of these days.
Yeah. So do you want to play like classical stuff, or do you have any idea what you want to do?
I want to be able to do everything. Like
everything.
Eventually I want to get to a point where you could just name whatever song you want. I'll listen to it one time and just go right at it.
Okay, we're gonna check back in a year and see where you're at with your piano skills. But
That's fair.
I love that. All right, much has been made about your 5,000 calorie a day diet, and I know you're probably so sick of talking about it. But outside of what they make you eat for those 5,000 calories, if you could eat anything tonight, what would it be? What's your favorite meal?
Favorite meal, like pregame meal, or just
no, just whatever you want to eat. Like you can eat anything in the world.
That's tough because I really love food. Like you could ask any of the guys, they always clown because every time they see me, I'm always eating something, which I have to because of the whole diet thing. But man, that's hard. Okay, so I have one meal. I'll probably say some ribs, some really good tender barbecue ribs with some mac and cheese, some mashed potatoes, maybe some oxtails. I love Caribbean food. I love everything. I love Mexican food. Like I love seafood. It's tough. Oh man, I can't answer that one. I'll just stick with the ribs, mac and cheese, and some mashed potatoes, some cornbread.
Right. When you eat all that food, no wonder you got to sleep so much. Take all
right, exactly.
All right, what's on your playlist right now? What are you listening to?
Ooh, playlist. I listen to everything. I'm like the type of guy. I'll go from like literally, I'll go Lil Baby Gunna, and then I'll go to Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire, and then I'll go to some Sade, Boney James, Kenny G. My music range is everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really listen to much country. Country is the only kind of thing where I can listen to it, but I can't listen to it on my own. But all the coaches, they'll mess around and play in the practice gym, so I'll be shooting to it just fine. But country is like the only like genre of music where I just don't listen to on my own. But everything else I love.
All right. Do you have any music? Like, do you have a most embarrassing song that you love to listen to?
Yeah, I probably have a lot of those. Let me see. I mean, there's probably some like freaking Katy Perry songs probably I'll probably listen to. Chain to the Rhythm actually is one off the top of my head. That's super fire. I don't know though. I gotta look back and see. Like I really do love music. I listen to anything. So I guess it depends on who it's embarrassing to, but I think it's fine.
Do you have a favorite TV show right now?
Yes, I've been watching Squid Game.
Oh.
Super fire. I got 2 episodes left. It's getting crazy right now. So we'll see how that goes. I love Money Heist. Yeah, I've been trying to watch more shows since I've been out here because after we get out the gym, it's not much to do. So when I get on Squid Games, I'll need some more recommendations.
All right, the Squid Games is what everyone's watching right now. So
Right.
at least you're on top of what's hot. All right, we'll wrap things up. One last question for you. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Ooh-wee. Just one person?
You can have a table.
I'll go Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Michael Jackson, Kanye West, and Barack Obama.
Whew.
Those are like
All right.
and Jackie Robinson.
That's a pretty
I
good
don't know.
dinner
That's a
party.
lot.
That's okay. That's okay. You have
Like,
enough food.
Right. I really wish I could meet old school civil rights activists who really changed the way for, African Americans in this world. So just to hear just how their brain processes things, what made them great leaders that they were. That would be little tips I would love to just learn from them for sure.
That's awesome. Well, you're in a wonderful city for that. And I know Memphis is so glad to have you here. Ziaire, we wish you nothing but the best in year one and look forward to seeing you out on the court.
Yes. Thank you for having me. It was fun talking to you.